Huntsville High School and Community Living Huntsville welcome you to Transforming Together 2022. Transforming Together sessions are meant to be a learning experience for high school students and their families, meant to inspire possibilities and share what is available with you in our community and our school. We work together as a team for you. There are so many amazing agencies and movements that you can be a part of.
Trillium Lakelands District School Board acknowledges that these lands and waters are the traditional homeland of the Ojibwe Nation and the Huron-Wendat Nation, and now includes communities from the Mohawk Nation, the Potawatomi Nation, and the Métis Nation of Ontario. We acknowledge their stewardship throughout the ages.
Transition planning.
Transition planning is very important for students, and it starts early with families and students and the school, as well as our community agencies. In grade 8 to high school, we look at course selection, different supports and strategies, as well as if students will be in a life skills program or mainstream courses, or if they will have a blended model. Choice is very important. From grade 9 until you are 21 years old, we work on independent skills, your volunteering and working, linking you with community agencies and spaces, and perhaps even some programming, using your strategies, and again, choice. Finally, after HHS, we're looking at our communities, looking at post-secondary opportunities, maybe going to college, going to an apprenticeship, or even having extra training and certifications. Looking at work supports, your living situation. Will you live with a friend? Will you live with a partner or your family? Or maybe you'll live alone. Relationships, increasing those in person and not just online. And again, choice.
Christians Against Poverty.
Hello, my name is Michael Ankerman. I work at a Faith Baptist Church where I manage the Huntsville CAP Debt Center and I coordinate the CAP Money courses offered here in Huntsville. The Huntsville CAP Debt Center is a partnership between Christians Against Poverty Canada, CAP, and Faith Baptist Church. For people weighed down by debt, the Debt Center provides hope and a solution. Our clients are not alone. No matter how much debt is involved, CAP's team of friendly, professional debt counselors make sense of the situation, provide a solution, and walk with you every step of the way, all completely free to our clients. The Huntsville CAP Debt Center serves people living within a 25-kilometer radius of Faith Baptist Church in Huntsville. This includes the communities of Kearney, Sprucedale, and Dorset. The CAP Money course is a partnership also between Christians Against Poverty Canada and Faith Baptist Church. The Money course equips people with the tools and teaching to take control of their finances, how to budget and manage money to avoid drowning in debt. The Money course is offered multiple times a year in Huntsville at Faith Baptist Church and also at the Annex at the Public Library. We're here to help.
Bank of Montreal Registered Disability Savings Plan.
Hello and good day. My name is Zachary Davis, and this presentation is to provide some information about our RDSPs that we have to offer. RDSPs stand for Registered Disability Savings Plan. They're an effective way to build longer-term financial stability to assist with future needs. As listed, these accounts have some perks, such as a valuable government incentive, tax-free growth from earnings while money remains in the plan, lump sum and regular income payments, and virtually no effect on most other disability-related benefits. In order to be a beneficiary of these accounts, there are some points that have to be met, such as eligible for a disability tax credit, Canadian resident, under the age of 60, and a valid social insurance number. A beneficiary over the age of 18 can hold their own RDSP. However, recent changes have made it so that it's easier for a spouse or a common law partner and even parents to be able to open RDSPs and be the account holders on behalf of a disabled adult family member if required. Some key information regarding RDSPs: a $200,000 lifetime maximum contribution, must begin withdrawing from the plan by the end of the year in which the beneficiary turns 60, only one RDSP per beneficiary, only one beneficiary per RDSP, and grants and bonds are only available on contributions made to the plan before the end of the calendar year in which the beneficiary turns 49. The government assists with these types of accounts by providing grants. This chart gives an example of these grants and how they are beneficial to the account holder. For example, if your annual income is less than $100,392, the annual contribution may be a maximum of $1,500 with a grant added bonus of $3,500. And this chart shows how to maximize the bonds within the account without a contribution required. The amount of the grants provided by the government are less without a contribution, and if an individual earns less than $32,797, they are eligible for a maximum grant of $1,000 yearly. Some benefits included with these accounts are: earnings grow tax-free while still in the plan, helps money invested grow faster so you accumulate more, and beneficiaries with low income pay little tax. The next question would obviously be, how do I get started? We have broken it down step by step to make it easier. Step 1 is to apply for the disability tax credit, then open an RDSP, determine how best to invest the contributions, set up a regular automatic contribution, and catch up on grants and bonds. If you wish to get more information, please feel free to visit these websites such as bmo.com, cra-arc.gc.ca, visit the ESDC website, or sit down and have a conversation with a personal banker at BMO who would be more than happy to assist you.
Developmental Services Ontario.
Transition from youth to adult developmental services. Emily has a developmental disability and currently has access to ministry-funded youth services. Her mom is looking after her transition plan. Emily just turned 16. Her mom knows that when she turns 18, her services will end. What can she do now to help Emily transition from youth to adult services? Her mom calls the Developmental Services Ontario in her area and asks if she can apply for Emily to receive ministry-funded adult developmental services. They ask her some questions, and by providing proof with the right documents, Emily is confirmed eligible. While Emily can be confirmed eligible at age 16, she can't access any services until she's 18. By applying early, Emily's DSO will know her needs and her name will be added to their lists, so that when she turns 18, she can access the ones that are available to her in her area. So what does Emily's mom recommend you do? Begin the application process early at age 16 to help your loved one transition from youth to adult services. For more information, contact us today. And let's keep in touch. A message from Developmental Services Ontario, your access point for adult developmental services.
Here's an example of the types of housing supports that may be available in your community. This is Mira. She has a developmental disability, is eligible for ministry-funded adult developmental services, and wants to learn more about the types of housing supports that may be available to her. She would like to live by herself, but she doesn't know where to start or where to go to find housing that meets her needs. She decides to visit her friend Lee, who is currently living in a group home, to find out how he did it. Mira asks Lee how he is doing, and he tells her that he loves his new group home and the people he's living with. Mira tells Lee her situation. Lee tells her that he would love to share his housing experience with her, to help her understand the different types of housing supports that may be available to her, depending on her needs. One housing option is group homes and supports to help her live in a group home like his. There, she may live with a few unrelated people, where she may be able to receive support for up to 24 hours a day if needed. Lee also tells her that she can also live with a host family, who can provide her with care and support. She would be matched with a family that has similar interests, needs, and lifestyle, and she would be encouraged to become an active member of the household. Finally, Lee tells her about the supported independent living option, where someone will help her with her daily activities, and she will receive between 2 to 10 hours of support during the day every week. He also adds that she must be able to be alone overnight and do things like shower or brush her teeth without help. Lee mentions that it may take some time for her to get this type of support because it depends on what is available in her area and her needs. He tells her that once she completes her application package through her local DSO agency, they will help her understand the kind of resources she needs and connect her to those that are available. She can also call them for more information about other types of services in her area. Contact us today to learn more about housing supports and other funded services. Here's an example to help you understand the Passport Program. This is Mira. She has a developmental disability, is eligible for ministry-funded adult developmental services, and wants to learn more about the Passport Program and how it can help her participate in the community. So, she decides to visit her friend Lee, who is very active in his community. Lee tells her that he is able to participate in community activities because he gets money back from the Passport Program to pay for them. He explains that his local passport agency sent him an agreement telling him how much money the Passport Program will pay back or reimburse him for the eligible activities he participates in. He also tells her that some people choose to receive their money directly or purchase supports and services through an agency. He also explains that first his mom pays for the activities on his behalf, and then she fills out some forms, attaches the receipts, and sends them to Passport One to get his money back. He explains that the program reimburses people for a number of services and supports. For example, she can take part in community classes or recreational programs. Lee adds that she can even hire a support worker or someone who can help create a life plan to reach personal goals. Lastly, he tells her that she can also get temporary respite care for her caregiver. When Lee's mom needs a break from her daily caregiving routines, she gets respite care. He also says that once she completes her application package through her local DSO agency, they will help her understand the kind of resources she needs and connect her to those that are available. She can also call them for more information about other types of services in her area. Contact us today to learn more about the Passport Program. If you are already receiving passport funding and have questions, please contact your local passport agency.
Ontario Disability Support Plan.
ODSP. Who are we? And what do we do? We are the Ontario Disability Support Program, and we provide financial assistance, health benefits, community supports, employment supports, and much more to people with disabilities who are in financial need. Disabilities come in many forms and are not limited to physical impairments and long-term illness. Mental health affects 1 in 5 people in Canada and is a common disability many people face. Every person has the right to apply for ODSP. If your application is approved, you will receive income support as long as you are eligible. The amount depends on your family size, your need, and your income. You can apply for ODSP by visiting us online at www.ontario.ca/socialassistance or by calling your local office. There are 2 parts to the application process for income support. Part 1 focuses on your financial eligibility. Part 2 focuses on determining if you meet the program's definition of a person with a disability. In order to receive a Disability Determination Package, DDP, you must complete financial evaluation first. You do not need a DDP if you have an approved Disability Services Ontario DSO letter, but you still require the first step of a financial evaluation. If you do require a DDP, once you receive your package, you have 90 days to complete and return it to the Disability Adjudication Unit, DAU. The package consists of 4 sections: instructions, a portion for your doctor, a self-report form, and a consent form. The day your full completed package is returned, would be your eligible grant date. ODSP can help with the cost of a ton of benefits, including medication, basic dental care, glasses, eye exams, hearing aids, diabetic supplies, incontinence supplies, mobility and assistive devices, and even the cost of medical-related travel. You can access most benefits by using your standard Ontario health card. It is that easy. Pharmacies and dentists will scan your card to confirm eligibility. If you don't have one, you'll connect with your caseworker for other options. When you are receiving ODSP income support, can you work? You can absolutely work while on ODSP. Not only do we encourage clients to work, we also provide employment supports to help you find and keep a job. ODSP works with community partners by giving help in preparing for work and help finding a job that is right for you. Whether you're starting a business, need help in keeping a job, job coaching, and so much more. You can even get help with the costs of software and mobility devices, access to interpreter services and assistive devices. Does your income support go down when you start working, and so why work? People who work while on ODSP are always better off financially than those who don't. You can earn up to $200 a month without affecting your ODSP income support. Every dollar you earn over $200 only reduces your ODSP income support by 50 cents per dollar earned. Can I work and attend school while collecting ODSP? You can absolutely work and go to school while on ODSP. If you are in school full-time, any money earned will not be deducted from ODSP income support. If you receive OSAP for education and transportation costs, there is no impact to your ODSP income support, but, if you receive OSAP for living expenses, it is deducted dollar for dollar. When you are ready to apply for OSAP, talk to your caseworker for the most up-to-date information. Did you know? We can pay your rent directly to your landlord out of your monthly allowance or set you up with a financial trustee. And, ODSP recipients have access to the Assistive Devices Program, ADP, for items such as CPAP machines, or wheelchairs. And, we consider the fact that at home, you may have others that help you, or you may be helping others. We can adjust your monthly benefit to your unique needs depending on your living situation, shelter costs, and school status. The program in detail is public information. All of our policies and directives are available online. Visit us at www.mcss.gov.on.ca for more information.
Adult Protective Service Worker.
APSW, Adult Protective Services Worker, as well as Ontario Works Youth Enhanced Support Services and Community Living Connections are next. Adult Protective Services Worker helps adults with developmental disabilities living in the community. The focus is on future planning in order for the people to live as independently as possible. They help people transition from youth to adult services upon reaching age 18, and they're under the umbrella of the Canadian Mental Health Association of Muskoka Parry Sound. Referrals come through the DSO. APSW can be seen as a service that bridges the gaps as you transition from youth services to adult services.
Connections.
Connections is through Community Living Huntsville, and it's actually the umbrella of several different programs that we offer. So we have our Passport Program, our Fee-for-Service, and Pathways. So Passport is for when you turn 18, you receive what the government would call individualized funding to be able to purchase your own worker, activities. It's about being part of the community. So in Passport, you can you can manage the funding yourself, or you can come to Community Living Huntsville, and we can help you budget it. So if you don't have to worry about doing any invoicing. We purchase the items for you, so you don't have to worry about purchasing them and waiting to get reimbursed. We do all of that stuff working with you on how you want to spend your money. You can purchase services from us, such as our Community Participation Program, which can help you get connected in the community, volunteering, employment, just doing activities, finding out what you would like to be involved in. And then there's also the Supported Independent Living Program. So that is helping building independent life skills, social skills, budgeting, grocery shopping, and cooking. So all of those things. But what we really try to do here at Community Living Huntsville is we sit down with you and do a plan. What is it that you want to use your funding for? This is all about you and what you want. And what are the goals and dreams that you have? What are the skills that you need to work on? What are the activities that you want to do? You're purchasing our services, our expertise, our community knowledge. And then the fee for service is using additional money. So some people that self-manage their funding will come in and just purchase services from us, and then they manage the rest of their funding, and that's perfectly okay. And then there's also people that will use other funding, such as special services at home, respite, any additional funding that they have, they'll come in and they'll purchase. It's all about setting up the goals and plans, just like we do with the Passport program. So people can use different pieces of funding to purchase those services. So Pathways was designed for people that don't qualify for Developmental Services Ontario. We sit down with you again, figure out where you're struggling, what are you looking for, and then we help you connect to the community, to the resources that are there. When you look at all of the stuff that's out there, all the resources that are out there, trying to navigate a school system or a government system, it's very complicated and complex. And so we're here to help you navigate that, find those resources that are right for you, and making sure that you get those connections. Even if you're 16 and are not in any of our other programs, we will help you fill out the developmental services application to see if you qualify for those services. But in the meantime, then through Pathways, we can still help you get connected into the community while you're waiting for services. We won't just leave you waiting for the services. We'll kind of keep working with you so that when everything else falls into place, you're already ready to go. When you're looking at developmental services, you start applying at 16. Don't wait till 18 to do that, so you're on the list. we start to have people start thinking about 12, 13, start thinking about that transition out of high school and into adulthood. But if it wasn't done, no judgment. Things happen, life is busy, and you have other things that you're dealing with. Even if you manage your own passport and you have questions, give me a call. We can help you navigate that or answer any questions that you may have. There's no pressure to come and talk to me. Just let's have that conversation. Let me help you lay everything out, give you all the information so that you can make the right decision for you. So that kind of goes with passport, fee for service, and pathways. Let's sit down, have those conversations. Then you take away the information, and then you decide if we're the right choice. So if you need to connect with us, my name is Carla O'Neill, and you can reach me at my cell number is 705-783-2539, or you can email me at carla.o'neill@clhuntsville.ca.
Hello, my name is Michael White. I am involved with the Passport Program with Community Living Huntsville. I'm in swimming lessons and I'm almost at the rookie one. I've also really improved with my art too because I've been taking art classes. Not to mention, it's nice to just get a cab ride, not have to walk everywhere. It's good for me to do that, and I try to do it a lot, but there are just some days you need wheels. I've been going back to school and pursuing my education. I want to learn everything. I'd like to find some means of employment as well. I was looking to get more involved in the community, do some volunteering, gain some experience. In recent years, I got a little depressed, I got a little lazy, and I watched the world pass me by. They caught me back up, and I really appreciate that.
I think the thing that made me change my mind about purchasing services and deciding to actually do it was, number one, I had quite a few discussions with Carla about what the opportunities were, what they could do with Erica in the community. Seeing how they interacted with her made it a lot easier to say, yeah, I'll take as much service as you can give me. They expanded to take her skating, they take her in the pool, they've taken her out shopping, they've done lots of stuff with Erica that is probably way below what other people would want, but this is what she needs right now. Anytime I have any concern or questions or I need to change something, 9 times out of 10 I phone, I get a person right away. Working with Community Living in Huntsville has been amazing. They've been really nice to deal with, very accessible, always there if I need something. If you've got a special needs child, you can't do it all yourself. She's 27 years old. I've done a lot over the years, but you really need that extra help. It's out there. The funding is out there. If you don't have it, go after it, and Community Living can definitely help you get the services you need for your child.
Alex's Place.
Hi, my name is Heather, and I work for the District of Muskoka at Alex's Place, formerly known as Home for Good. Alex's Place is a safe, affordable, and supportive coeducational housing program for young people between the ages of 16 and 24 years old who are either homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. People who live at Alex's Place commit to participating in programming, which involves goal setting and working towards building the skills that they require to both obtain and maintain that permanent and stable housing that they're looking for. Alex's Place housing is temporary with a maximum stay of up to 4 years. There is some eligibility around age and being homeless or at risk of becoming homeless, as well as being a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident, a refugee claimant, or applying to become a permanent resident. There is also eligibility around income and assets that we review with you at application. The building is located at 49B Pine Street in Bracebridge. It used to be the Family Connections building and has been renovated to now be 12 bachelor apartments, 2 of which are accessible, It involves some program space for staff and some common space for the residents to use for both programming and supports. The building has a secure entry, and each of the units are self-contained, and it will require all the things necessary for daily living, including the ability to connect Wi-Fi and TV at additional cost. But the residents do have access to a full kitchen in the common space, as well as Wi-Fi throughout the building, and TV free of charge in the common space. I want to share some pictures with you. This is a typical unit on the left-hand side with a kitchenette on the right. Accessible bathroom on the left and a standard bathroom on the right with a stand-up shower. This is the common space. The common room has a space to gather when you have family and friends over or for programming, with a full kitchen outfitted for entertaining, and a lovely big dining room table to share a meal or play games or just visit. There is laundry on site, and both laundry facilities are available to residents, as well as a bathroom that is available for guests. There is an application required, so it is available on our website. There's an application and a referral form which can be completed by the young person with support from their family or an agency that they're working with, as well as the birth certificate, and either the notice of assessment or proof of income is required as part of that application process. The selection is based on eligibility. So if a person is eligible, then they're placed on our wait list, which is created chronologically. The interview is completed with an Alex's Place staff member, and all of the information gathered gets presented to a selection committee, and we review that information and see if there is a good fit and readiness for the program. And then if there is, an offer is made and arrangements are made to move in from there. There are program expectations as part of being at Alex's Place, as far as living respectfully and safely with the other building residents and engaging with staff, and just showing a willingness to develop goals, accept responsibility and assistance, participate in programming and supports that are appropriate for your needs, willingness to work towards the expectations of the program and follow the residents' rules, as well as willingness to sign disclosure agreements between all the agencies involved so that we can work together with all the agencies supporting you to help you achieve your goals. And lastly, just willingness to pay rent. If you have any questions, you can be reached at the email and the phone number provided. We're happy to answer any questions that you have, so please reach out. Thank you.
Muskoka Family Network.
My name is Carla O'Neill. I coordinate the Muskoka Family Network in our area. Muskoka Family Network is parents, volunteers, and what we offer is resources, information, another parent to talk to, because sometimes when when you have a child with a disability, you have a lot of professionals and people in your life, but sometimes it's just nice to talk to another parent and they get it. We understand what you're going through. We understand the processes of going through the school or adulthood or housing or all those applications. Families supporting families. That's the value about it. It's that parent-to-parent support, parent-to-parent resource that we have there. I think about it when my child was younger and when I first started on the journey of disabilities, and I had lots of resources from workers, I had lots of agencies, but talking to a family just to tell me that it was okay, just telling me that I was on the right track to follow my gut, that I know my child best. Just having that person that's been there, that's walked the path, didn't matter if they had the same disability or not, but I just always found that was helpful. And that's what really a network is all about, is just letting you know that it's okay. And sometimes it's okay to feel that you're overwhelmed and you just don't know how you're going to manage all this, and having you take it one step at a time, which was something I had to really learn along with my journey. So that's really the importance of family support networks, and why we truly believe that it complements all of the other services, having the Family Support Network as your resource. We are non-judgmental, but we are here to support you and to answer any questions that you have. We're here to listen to you. We're here to guide you to resources and information. We go from 0 to 99. There's no age gap in there. Any family, it could be a family member, a sibling. We have a sibling on our advisory committee. It could be a grandparent, aunt or uncle, caregiver, anybody that has a loved one with a disability, and it doesn't have to be all developmental. We also have medical. So we feel that if we can help you, or we can share information and reach out to us, and you can make that decision if this is something that's right for you. We have an email, it's muskokafamilynetwork@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook page. We have two. We have a community page, Muskoka Family Network, and off there's a private group for families in Muskoka. And the reason we started that was what we were hoping was that families would ask questions, and then that way families can also give answers. We also have a website, muskokafamilynetwork.ca, and you can also give me a call at 705-783-3012.
Student success.
Let's meet Spencer HEWITT. Spencer is an amazing athlete and student at Huntsville High School, and he has many goals and priorities as he gets ready to leave. Spencer wants to finish his OSSC. That's an Ontario Secondary School Certificate, a 14-credit certificate. He also wants to continue with paid employment and participate in physical and musical activities, such as playing the guitar, working out, and playing different sports. Spencer made several choices with his family as he entered Huntsville High School. He went into the HHS Life Skills program and had family support through the Community Living Huntsville. He also participated in integration courses for credit, playing music with a mentor and continuing with basketball. Spencer participated in grade 11 at the HHS World of Work program, where he got different job skills and had different volunteer opportunities. Finally, he also had job opportunities with Community Living Huntsville Supports. Spencer applied and was accepted for Developmental Services Ontario and Ontario Disability Support Program. They provided financial opportunities and different activities and programs that would support Spencer. Finally, Spencer is finishing up at the Huntsville AAEC, the Alternative Adult and Education Center, where he is completing his last few credits towards his Ontario Secondary School Certificate. Spencer has many final thoughts, but one is that be dependable, trustworthy, and a team player, and work towards your goals.